Hey Ashley, let's take a look at your week 4 assignment 2 drawing here. I think this is actually a nice job. The gradient that's occurring on the left side doesn't really bother me all that much. I actually think it looks pretty good, and the color feels good. The proportions, I think, for the most part feel good. I think where it starts to slip is just with the little girl, where she feels a little bit too small compared to the curtain and the entryway, but still a nice job, overall. And I really like a lot of the detail that's in place, having the reflection down at the bottom. You have here some nice curtains overall, and then dealing with all the little pictures on the right in the sign is really cool. Good job of trying to get the title down and also the little cursive that's over here. The only thing I really feel like missing is just some Greeking of the text that's over here, and just going in with colored pencil. And you don't even have to do the text itself. You can just kind of create some lines to show that there is text. Maybe get a yellow marker and just put in the subheads, and then go in with the colored pencil again and just kind of do some lines to show that there's text here, that it's taking up this amount of space, like this block of space has something occupying it. I think you can also benefit from having just a little bit of gray being used in some of your curtains. I think that you can see here it goes from kind of a dark red here to a lighter red, and then it goes to a really dark red, and then it goes to a lighter red. And I think being able to have just a little bit of an overlay of some of the gray in some of these areas, I don't think it has to be in every area, but go in with a 40 gray and maybe go in with like a 60 gray just towards this line work that you've done, and you'll start to get this light and dark thing that's going, where it seems like for every part that has a lighter red, there's going to be a darker red behind it, and that's going to create kind of the ins and outs of the curtain. And that's something that I feel like is missing a little bit. It has some of the darkest shadows in place, and it has some highlights in place, but it doesn't have like that total kind of band of gray that you see in a lot of these areas, which I think would really be easy to do with just a quick 40 or 60 one blind stroke all the way down from top to bottom, nice and straight, and I think it would work out, perfectly well. Otherwise, it's I think a really nice job of reproducing the ad. I think there's a nice amount of color, but it's not, overwhelming. I thought you did a nice job of dealing with the entirety of the composition. I think a lot of the times it'd be very easy to kind of not want to have to deal with the photos and the sign off to the right, and so just the fact that you went in and spent a good, to me it looks like, considerable amount of time dealing with it, just adds to the completeness of the ad. Also, just trying to get the font to look like the font that's there. I can't tell you how many times, even for a title that's as big as this, people just put in their own handwriting and it just looks really wonky. So, I think you're trying to pay attention to what's here. I think, there's some issues, some minor issues, but I would definitely not call any of them kind of breaking the drawing in any way. I think you did a nice job with what you had. It was a good selection to work with. You dealt with the marker well, and you dealt with the color and the composition really nicely also.